Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a short video. I wanted to briefly discuss this viral video with Sukihana. If you're not familiar, Sukihana got her start on VH1's Love and Hip Hop Miami. And she's a rapper as well. And she also had an OnlyFans. I'm not sure if she still has it now, but I do know that she had an OnlyFans account. And so she was at an event, at some basketball event, to give commentary, and she's sitting at the, at the table, and there's some other guys there, I guess, giving commentary as well. I think it's like 3 other guys there giving commentary as well, and then there's like some guys standing on the side. Well, while she's at the table, one of the guys that was standing on the side was a guy named Osiris, and I've never heard of him, so I had to go and research who he was. So apparently he's a rapper from Florida. And he used to be signed to Def Jam. From what I read, he was dropped from the label, but that's about all I know about him. So anyway, now, according to Sukihana, she does not know him, never had any type of relationship with this guy, never had a conversation, anything like that. So in the middle of her at the table, going to do her commentary, sitting there with the other guys, Osiris walks over there. So first he walks over there, and he kind of like rubs his hands on her shoulders, and then he like gives her a kiss on the cheek, and she's just like, wait, what is going on? Like, who are you? She's like really confused, like, what are you doing, right? And so then he kind of laughs a little bit, and he seems to like kind of walk off, but then he like within seconds, I guess maybe about 20 or 30 seconds, he walks back over and he takes it even further and like forces a kiss on her. Like, let's think about this. She's sitting down and he's standing up. So he comes up behind her and he's like trying to kiss her in the mouth, and it's so awful to even watch because you can like hear her saying, stop it, stop it, stop it. And he like leans her head back and he like kisses her in the mouth. And what's even more disturbing is like you have other people there and like nobody attempts to stop him, attempts to say, yo, you need to chill out. What are you doing? Like, you have these other men who are there, and some of them are kind of like laughing it off. 1 or 2 of them were like completely shocked, but like nobody tried to help her. They just like let this guy do this. And I thought that was pretty just very distasteful. I mean, this person doesn't even know her. I mean, who are you? And why would you do something like that? I mean, it's so disrespectful. And I can't even imagine how she felt in that moment. I mean, I probably would have punched him. Like, for real. Like, I don't know who you are. You some guy, you just coming over. The first time when he came over and kissed me in the cheek, that would have been a problem. Like, and then I know she's at an event, so she's trying to remain professional. You know what I'm saying? But in that instance, it's like, oh, hell no. Like, who the hell are you? Why are you coming over here? I would have to find security or something to get this guy. I don't know who you are, and it was really messed up. It's really messed up. And so the video went viral, and, a lot of people have a lot to say, especially women. I mean, that is sexual harassment. Like, nowhere else could you be sitting and some random guy just walks up and does some shit like that to you. And he just walks away and he's like laughing and high-fiving. He thinks this shit is so funny. And that shit is not funny, And unfortunately, because of the type of stuff that she raps about and the fact that she had an OnlyFans, it's like a lot of times guys just feel like, if a girl does that, then she must be fair game, for everybody. And that is just not the case. Some of them are putting on a show, and even if they are like that, like, even if a girl decides like, oh, that's the kind of lifestyle she wants, or if she wants to, sleep with people, whatever, even if that is what she does, it is still her choice. So it's really sad that a lot of men or guys get it twisted in their mind, like, because a girl slept with X amount of guys that he knows that, oh, she's fast, she's a hoe, so, she let anybody slam. And that's not the case. That's not the case. Even with a girl who is like that, it is still going to be their choice to decide who they're going to sleep with. I don't give a damn if she slept with 20 guys out of the 25 people on the football team. She slept with 20 and didn't sleep with those 5. Guess what? That was her choice to not sleep with those 5. But for those 5 to feel like they're entitled to sleep with her too because she slept with the other 20 is a no. It doesn't work that way. But for whatever reasons, in a lot of guys' minds, they feel like they are entitled to be able to have that person too, simply because she slept with this one, that one, this one. Okay, and that was still her choice. That's still her choice. So you don't get to just demand like, oh, well, since you slept with them, then you need to do the same for me. It don't work that way. Else, at the end of the day, it's still ultimately that person's choice. I don't care how many people they slept with. And so I think a lot of guys, they miss that. They just feel entitled for some reason. And not only that, there was like another video that was viral as well, where she was on one, like Candy has some kind of after hours or some kind of podcast, some kind of adult content podcast, and she was there, and there was a gentleman that's on the show. I've never watched the podcast. I'm only going from the clip. I don't know if he was a guest speaker or if he's a speaker that's always on the show with Candy. But he was being so disrespectful to her. Like, he was just like, oh, you talk all that stuff and you say you this and that. I mean, it's very explicit. I'm not even going to repeat it here. But Sukihana, she, in the past, she had said some very explicit things on, I think it was on, what is his name? Is it Hollywood Unlocked? I forget what the name of the pod. She went on somebody else's show though, and Jason Lee. She was on Jason Lee's show, if I'm not mistaken, and she was just talking about things that she does and what she likes to do as far as like, bedroom stuff or whatever. And so when she went on Candy's show, the podcast, this guy that was there, that was supposed to just be like part of, having part of the conversation, whatever they were going to be discussing, he kept coming on to her and talking about, we can go find out right now and let's go in the back. And at some point he apparently, showed his private parts. I don't know if it was a picture, he pulled it out. I didn't even watch the whole clip because it was so disgusting to even watch. How he was talking to her and stuff like that. So it was just, both of these videos are like viral, and it's like in the same deal within the last 24 to 48 hours. And it's just really sad. What I will say, unfortunately, is because of the industry that she's in, doing the OnlyFans, and then, being a rapper, and she raps about a lot of explicit stuff, which a lot of rap girls do, honestly. But I think that plus the OnlyFans, and that she goes on different like podcasts and different things, and how she talks explicit on those things too, unfortunately, it's going to draw in a certain type of attention, and it's going to draw in a certain type of guys. And unfortunately, a lot of these guys are not disciplined, and they seem like they don't know how to control themselves. And so I would say for her, she has probably about 3 options here. The first one would be she could try to act like this didn't happen, which I know she can't, because I'm going to share her post in a minute here that she made, and she like deleted her like a deactivated like her Twitter, her Instagram, a lot of her social media accounts. She deactivated and said, how she was crying all day, and she had been, drinking and stuff like that, because she really felt violated, which I don't blame her. So, I think she's going to have to, rethink some things and decide if this is still the type of image that she wants to portray, or if this is the type of thing she still wants to be known as, and figure out a way, okay, if this is what I'm going to do, then how can I do this in a way that's going to keep me safe and keep me from being harassed? Because, of course, anybody can be harassed. I mean, you have women who's not in that line of industry, who's just your everyday person working a normal job, and we still have to have experience certain things or whatever. So regular women that don't work in that line of industry are not exempt from being harassed either, but working in the type of industry she's working in, she's going to have it at a more heightened and a more often, right? It's going to be more heightened level and more often, simply because she's exposing so much of herself. But she's going to have to figure out, like, do I need to make some changes? Or the second option is going to be, is like, how can I remain in control if I'm going to do commentary or go to these different events? How can I make sure that I maintain a certain level of control and boundaries, so that I can make sure that doesn't happen again, or someone doesn't feel comfortable enough to where they feel like they can do something like that and not suffer any consequences, right? Is she going to have to prove a point by, maybe pressing charges on this one so that people won't think that it's okay going forward. I mean, she has a lot to think about and how she wants to proceed. The other option would be is to have somebody come with you. So if you don't have, I don't know if she's in a relationship, but like if she had a boyfriend or something that would not let her go to these types of events alone, she needs some kind of protection, or maybe she needs to hire some kind of security or a bodyguard or something, because of the line of work that she's in and because of how vocal she is about the things that she does. Traveling alone and going into these type of situations alone, as we can see, is not going to be in the best interest for her. She needs to be able to set boundaries. I don't care what she does for a living. If she's coming on the show, it's just very disrespectful to be approaching her and talking to her like that. Like, this is a business setting, regardless of what her line of work is, regardless of what she says. You don't have no right to be talking about, oh, you talk all that stuff on here, come and prove it to me, and I'm ready to go right now, and let's go in the back. And it was just so disrespectful. So disrespectful. And you could tell that she was kind of torn on how to handle it. In one instance, she knows that she talks a lot of smack, but in another instance, it's just kind of like, well, like, you could just tell she was uncomfortable. Like, she didn't really know. In one instance, she was still trying to put on the image or the character that she is when it comes to that lifestyle that she's leading. But in another instance, you can tell she was thrown off and kind of uncomfortable at him, like, trying to proposition her right on the show. Is like really disrespectful or whatever. But that's why I said, like, she's either going to have somebody like a bodyguard or security that travels with her anytime she's going to something like that, an event, or going to speak somewhere or something. If I were her, I would not travel without having some type of security with me, because as you can see, they clearly have lost their minds and don't have any boundaries. This is ridiculous. Like, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Or she's gonna have to figure out a way how to control the conversation. He could say, she could, own up to, I talk a lot of stuff, and what? Just because I talk a lot of stuff don't mean you have a right or you are entitled to what I'm talking about, right? Like, what? I can say anything that I want to say. Like, that doesn't make you entitled or have a right to say, oh, well, I want to see if it's true. Well, that's my decision. You don't decide it. I decide that. And what you're not going to do is proposition me in the middle of a podcast and I'm here as a guest. You're going to respect me. Like, she's going to either have to man up and tell these men off. Well, I think she's going to need to do both. But I think she's going to need to man up and tell them off. So set them boundaries there so they know not to talk to her like that. Or she's going to have some kind of security in place at this point. So, anyway, I'm going to play the clip. You'll see how disgusting it is to even look at. I'm also going to show the clip of her statement that she made online after this happened. Oh, and by the way, YK Osiris put out an apology. Do I think it's genuine? Probably not, no. Because, he clearly didn't care. He crossed those boundaries and clearly didn't care. He thought it was funny. He thought that shit was absolutely funny. And it was not. It was very unprofessional. It was very disrespectful, very distasteful, serious crossing of the boundaries. And she would be well within her means to report that and file charges if she wanted to. So, all right, guys, so that's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to end off with the video footage and the comments, and let me know what you think below. And I will see you in the next video. Okay? Smooches.
Oh my. Oh, two already. Oh my. Oh, two already. Yeah.